And to top off my new workstation setup, this is the Hewlett-Packard Office Pro 8610. This has wireless, and it will print color photos and whatnot. It says the easiest way to print from your smartphone or tablet. Pretty much any printer with Wi-Fi can do that. But the reason why we have this is to print customer documents and everything, such as mortgage statements, 1003 documents and everything. Now, we could have gotten a bigger, the office size printers, but the only thing about it is I didn't want to run into a situation again where the thing goes off warranty and then they want to charge you like thousands of dollars to fix it. So instead I just use these. These things cost $200, $300, maybe even $400 a piece. When they run out or when they wear out, you just get another one, and usually you get a better one. So this way you don't end up paying these small companies to do your maintenance all the time, you know?
Okay, so now that I've gotten the computers out of the way, now I am going to set up the Hewlett-Packard OFFICEJET Pro 8610 all-in-one. Now, as we progress, the necessity of a fax machine is we're getting to a point where we really don't need them, because the thing about it is, unless you're doing legal documents, for the most part, you really don't need to fax anything. You can almost damn near take a picture with your camera phone and simply send it to whoever you need to get an information document to. Now, for those of us who need fax machines, at $200, where you can actually get this printer, the MSRP is $200, $199.99, but it's possible to get this printer online for much cheaper than that. In fact, it is almost possible, when Hewlett-Packard is doing their promotions, to get this printer as cheap as $104. Now, this is the kind of office printer that you want to have if you have a small business. As you can see, the cartridges, there are 4 of them, and those cartridges pretty much handle all the colors, the black and whites. And as you can see, I'm simply pulling all the tape and all the protective layers out of this machine. And this is the paper tray. You can pretty much do just about anything you need to do on it, because this is a multifunction printer, scanner, copier, fax. Everything on it is digital. It plugs in using USB 2.0. You don't really need the 3.0, but if you have 3.0, it works fine with that too. It comes with the typical phone line cable, and basically all you got to really do is put the back end on and it's ready to go. And this is where you go just in case the paper jams. As you can see, it's Wi-Fi ready, so if you turn on your cell phone and ask it to look for a printer to print to, it will recognize it right away. When you turn the device on, it starts to initialize itself, and that process can run you about 5 minutes to do all the updates and installations. Once this printer is hooked up to your local Wi-Fi network, it will start to download any updates that Hewlett-Packard has ready for it. This printer is capable of downloading updates all on its own without user input. So all you basically got to do is set the thing up and just let it rip, and that's it. So as you can see, it has multiple language support, English, French, Spanish, Chinese and Japanese. Most of the languages will depend on what region you buy it in, because Hewlett-Packard tries to load as many languages in it as they can. You just set the date, and obviously the date will be printed on your faxes, and anything that you ask the date to automatically be put on. Like if you want things printed out, the date can appear on it if you want it. So basically I set the thing up. It only took me a couple of minutes and I was ready to roll. And, printing quality is excellent. So let's just talk about the pros, the cons, and the bottom line of this printer. First of all, it prints fast. Once it's set up, it has fast printing, black and color. It will do duplex 2-sided printing. It has an Ethernet port, so you can plug it directly to your cable or Fios router, like I have. I have a Fios router. It has Wi-Fi, obviously. It has Hewlett-Packard's Wireless Direct, and it's relatively cheap to use. I mean, you can get depending upon how much color printing and how much black and white printing you do, you can get a good number of prints out of these cartridges. So as you can see right here, I'm installing the cartridges. The K handles black for the black and white printing, and then you get the typical red, blue, and yellow. So when you mix all the colors, it can produce a wide array of colors on your paper. Now, as far as the cons go, this is a really big printer. So some people you may have to get yourself a special desk or something, but it's a really big printer. It has a large footprint, and it only has one paper tray. Now keep in mind, this isn't like your office Xerox machine. This is a desktop printer. If you are a student and you have a phone line in your dorm room, this would be fantastic for you, because you never know when you might have to fax documents to the bursar or the registrar or something. Photo quality really isn't what this printer is designed for. You can print photos, you can print graphs, you can print spreadsheets, but if you really want a photo printer, what you do is you go get one of the real photo printers from Hewlett-Packard, where you'll probably pay $200 just for the printing feature, because you're dealing with such high quality photo printing. A lot of people really don't print photos anymore. We mostly share them on Facebook, we share them on Twitter and whatnot. So a lot of people really aren't into printing photos anymore. But if you really want a photo printer and you're specifically getting a printer to print out photos, you're definitely going to want to get a Photo Smart. You don't want to get an Office Smart printer. You want to get a Photo Smart printer. This printer is relatively inexpensive. You're going to have to buy $50 worth of cartridges every, let's say, less than 300 to 400 prints. But considering the 61 numbered ink for my 4630 and my 4500 that I have at home, considering those and the 4630 that I got for the office, considering those printer cartridges, a black and a color, considering they cost close to $40 for one pack, $50 or $60 for these gigantic cartridges, which will run out individually depending upon which color you use the most, I consider that a reasonable thing, because if you're not really printing pictures all the time, you're not going to run out of ink very quickly, so you really don't have to worry about it. It's relatively inexpensive. This printer, again, costs less than $200. It is great. It has USB. It has a touchscreen, a digital touchscreen that shows you what is wrong. If the printer detects that there's a jam, it tells you exactly where it is. As you can see in the screen, the multifunction display pretty much shows you anything you need to know about the printer. So basically, you just watch these graphics. It tells you what to do. So even if you're a complete dummy when it comes to printers, you can follow the instructions and you can pretty much figure out what you need to do. For less than $200, this is a damn good printer. I mean, it's a printer, scanner, fax, and it's less than $200, and the cartridges are relatively inexpensive. You can get them on eBay, you can get them at Staples, you can get them at OfficeJet, OfficeMax. So this is a damn good multifunction printer, and it'll make just about anybody's home office or anybody's student dormitory. It'll make you able to do just about any printing job you need to be able to do. That's why I bought it. So, if there's any specific questions about this printer, because I know I've done a lot of printer reviews, because you know, I've set up home office, I've set up work office, and this, that, and other. So if there's any specific questions, you know, all you got to do is send me a comment and I'll answer them right away. This tray holds 250 sheets of paper, and obviously it has a duplexer that holds less, so you can put about 50 in there, it won't jam. And it also has a letter-sized flatbed, and it has a 35-page automatic document feeder, and it can scan up to legal size. So if you're a person who has a law office or you're a paralegal, you can do legal size paper, no problem. I really can't think of anything else very specific. As you can see here, I'm just you know, setting up the calibrator, because what it does is it prints out a test page, and the test page, you turn it upside down, you put it on the scan bed, it scans it, and it calibrates how it wants the printer jets to be. But graphics output from this thing is fantastic. If you have PowerPoint, handouts, So once again, it's really good for students, and it's also good for small office use. This is not something where you want to run off like 500 and 600 pages at a time. I mean, it only holds 250, and if you're running off that many pages, then this is definitely not the kind of printer you want. This is more like the kind of printer for somebody who's only doing like 10 or 20 pages at a time, maybe even 50 to 100. But if you're got to do that many, you're better off just taking your file over to Staples and getting it done there. All I can say other than that is if you were going to compare it to another printer, Epson has one called the WF3640, and that's an excellent printer for printing and scanning. But me personally, I prefer to buy Hewlett-Packard because I love the way Hewlett-Packard handles their software, their drivers, and the coherency between their machines. Because what Hewlett-Packard will do is Hewlett-Packard has digital calibration that matches the ink as close to what you see on screen as what you're going to print out. And Hewlett-Packard has been doing a damn good job of producing printers. So I trust them. I pretty much know what to expect with their ink, and I love their product. And this printer has great text quality and good enough photo quality for most people's needs. So once again, this is the end of this setup, and if you have any questions, just feel free to ask me individual questions in the comment section, but I'll be quick to answer them, I promise.